Hey guys, James Baek here, and I have a guide to building a Pokemon VGC 2015 team for you guys here today. This guide is meant to help you guys figure out what you need to do in order to build a successful VGC 2015 team, and it's not supposed to make one for you guys. So let's get into it. Here's a few things you're going to need in order to build a successful VGC 2015 team. You're going to have to get to know the VGC 2015 rules before you can build a VGC 2015 team. VGC 2015 rules are a flat doubles battle rules, which is you have 6 Pokemon in a team and you bring 4 to a battle. Pokemon must have the blue pentagon, which means Pokemon can only have been caught or bred in Pokemon X, Pokemon Y, Pokemon Omega Ruby, and Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. Events are also this way, where you can only have event Pokemon that were from X, Y, Omega Ruby, or Alpha Sapphire. Pokemon VGC 2015 is basically a fusion of Pokemon VGC 2013 and VGC 2014 rules with some major modifications. The limited options of VGC 2014 is removed, such as the lack of good fire types in VGC 2014, and move tutor moves are now legal in VGC 2015. Event Pokemon like Eruption, Heatran, and the gems, except Normal Gem, because Normal Gem you can get in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire from VGC 13, are gone, so there's no more Flying Gem or Dragon Gem. Throughout the course of the 6th gen, multiple Pokemon have gained new weaknesses and strong points in VGC 2015, so be sure to look at all of them. Examples are Tornadus has lost the Defiant ability, which was huge on Tornadus, and a strong point is Milotic getting the competitive ability, which is very nice to handle Intimidate users. All Pokemon in the Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire National Dex, excluding Uber Legendaries such as Kyogre or Lugia, are now legal. Tools for team building. There are multiple tools in order to help you make a successful team, and I'm going to go through all of them. There's the VGC 2015 Speed Tier article on NuggetBridge.com. All of these will be in the link down in the description below. There's the Team Magma Team Builder, which can help check your weaknesses and your strong points against certain types. The Pokemon Showdown Team Builder is where you probably want to build your team so you can test it on Pokemon Showdown itself. The Pokemon Showdown Damage Calculator, which basically helps with certain calcs on a certain Pokemon, like if you want to calc for surviving a certain move or dishing out enough damage to a certain Pokemon. That's where you go in order to do your calcs. You can test out your team on the Pokemon VGC 2015 ladder on Pokemon Showdown. Nugget Bridge and Eggy Emporium are great websites for VGC players if you're getting into VGC. They have a bunch of articles and team reports, and if you're struggling to find an idea, definitely go on those websites. They will have something for you probably. The Pokemon Global Link is to check the most used Pokemon on Doubles Battle Spot, which is the VGC 2015 ladder. You really want to pay attention to that. They're probably the Pokemon you're going to see most at tournaments, and you want to have a way to counter them. Pokemon Doubles Battle Spot is a great way to train your team after you're done testing on Showdown, and pretty much a bunch of good players are on Battle Spot right now, so be sure to battle on Battle Spot. Building around an idea or core. When building a team, the best idea for building a team is to build it around a certain core, like Fire, Water, Grass, or there's the Steel, Fairy, Dragon combo. A certain Pokemon, usually a Mega Pokemon such as Mega Kangaskhan, or an idea such as Skill Swap Levitate onto Heatran. After you have an idea or core you choose to build around, choose Pokemon that can support your core or cover weaknesses that your core has. There are multiple options of Pokemon, so feel free to use unorthodox Pokemon. Even if they seem ridiculous, but if they work, you should definitely feel free to try them. Try not to have more than 2 Pokemon weak to the same type. This is sort of optional, but you might not want to have Pokemon that are weak to the same type, as they could demolish your team. Protect is a move that most VGC 2015 Pokemon should have in order to scout or stall weather, trick room turns, etc. Pokemon holding a choice item, an assault vest, or have a better move pool are exceptions to this rule. Having 2 or more Pokemon holding a choice item is okay, depending on your play style, but as a warning, it can make it easier for your opponent to predict switch outs from your side. After having a team completed, make sure you have a good team synergy. Basically, make sure you have good typing and defensive synergy. Make sure you can switch out so your types are pretty good and your defensive core is really nice. It really helps with the switching and coverage. If you do not like the team you're using after a few practice battles, adjust the team or scrap the team completely. There is no shame of scrapping a team completely, as it may be your battle style or preference. I have actually scrapped a few teams before, and there's no shame in really. If it's not your battle style or preference, it's alright, cause it might just not be the team for you. Everyone has their own battle style or preference, and you should too. Things you want on a team. Speed control is very important on a team. Thunderwave, Icy Wind, Trick Room, those are all forms of speed control. Make sure you have one or more ways of controlling speed. This metagame, VGC 2015, is going to be a lot about speed control. You're going to see a lot of Thunderwave from Thunderouses, Trick Room from Cresselia, Gothitelle, etc. You want to have a way to control speed on your team, or you're going to be at a severe disadvantage. Make sure you have a counter to the most popular Pokemon in the format, such as certain Megas. Check the global link for the most common Pokemon on BattleSpot. Make sure you have a counter to all those top listed Pokemon. Have a way to deal with some of the most popular strategies in the format. Weather, Trick Room, etc. These strategies are super strong and have been most successful on so many teams in the past. You really just need a way to counter them, or else you're going to be at a bit of a disadvantage if your opponent can get the Weather or Trick Room up that they need. It is recommended that you should have a balance of bulk, power, and speed on your team. This is essential because you really want to have not one team focused on attack and speed, or you're going to lose to the slower defensive mons that can take your hits and then deal back damage to knock out your Pokemon. Speed, you usually want to have some slow Pokemon or mid-tier speed in order to help against Trick Room. Optional things you may want on a team. Follow Me and Rage Powder support to help heavy hitters or Pokemon on your team that want to use a setup move such as Dragon Nest or Swords Dance. You'll see a lot of teams with Follow Me and Rage Powder support because it is so good. It's not necessary on a great team, but it is definitely a big benefitter. Status is always a big thing in VGC, especially Burn with Will-O-Wisp having increased accuracy in the 6th gen, and Thunderwave from Thundurus. It is not necessary to have status on the team, but does help cripple your opponents. Support moves like Light Screen, Snarl, Helping Hand, Taunt, etc. are very useful in VGC to gain an upper hand in the battle. Fake Out is a move most VGC teams have in order to settle strategies such as Trick Room, Icy Wind, etc. Priority moves help in some situations where it allows a Pokemon to move first. There are also abilities that make some moves have priority. Prankster, which allows status category moves such as Thunder Wave, Taunt, etc. to have a +1 priority. Usually you see them on Thundurus and Whimsicott, while Gale Wings, which allows flying moves to gain a +1 priority, which you see on Talonflame getting priority Brave Bird and Tailwind. Testing the team. After having a completed team, be sure to test it on Pokemon Showdown. If you are having trouble with one Pokemon or strategy consistently, adjust your team in order to have a better way to prepare for it. Here's a big note. Teams can continue to adjust as the metagame advances, so make sure the team you are using can handle the most recent changes in our metagame. Teams can take as short as 5 minutes to adjust to your liking to months, so do not feel discouraged about your team. If you are still dissatisfied with your team, scrapping it is an idea, or taking out what you like from your team and turning it into a new core are options. If you feel the team is good enough, build a team in-game and test it on the Doubles BattleSpot ladder, since Showdown and in-game have different feels to them. If the team does well on BattleSpot and you're comfortable with it, you have made a successful VGC 2015 team. So if you guys thought this video was helpful, be sure to give it a like. Share with your friends if they are having trouble building a VGC 2015 team. Be sure to follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. And be sure to check out my VGC 2015 battles, where I battle people on the BattleSpot ladder. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, has helped you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.